Hey little lemons, what's up? It's Pixelade here and welcome back to yet another speculation / wishlist video. This will be video 3 out of 3 for the original Twitter Q&A session from Sim Guru Grant this past weekend. And since then, he's actually tweeted a lot, so expect a lot more of these videos in the future. Before we jump into the video, a little disclaimer. All of the topics listed in today's video are nor confirmed or denied. These are just topics of speculation today, hence the title. Some of our biggest topics will be concerts, singers, new careers, dynamic worlds, and much more. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the tweets. Our first tweet of the video comes from Ali McC. They tweet, are there any of the games / packs that you felt weren't good enough when it was released, either because of deadlines, system limitations, anything like that? And Sim Guru Grant quoted the tweet responding, everyone always wants to do more with everything we do. It's why we make games, but I cannot specifically answer this as I'd be executed. And he's totally right. As an employee of Electronic Arts, there are so many guidelines that Grant has to follow, and not just Grant, but all of the other Sim Gurus. That's why whenever someone asks him about future content, he normally relies to a tweet that he has pinned saying that he can't comment on it if it's potential future content, meaning it's not confirmed or denied, but because the possibility of it ever coming to the game is there, he can't talk about it. So I see why he wasn't able to answer this question, it makes sense. But now it's a different story if you want to hear my opinion about it. Any games / packs that I felt like weren't good enough when released? Well, we're gonna go ahead and say one for sure, and I know that we can probably all agree on it. It's The Sims 4 My First Pet Stuff. That DLC, in my opinion, I know everyone has a different opinion and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with having a different opinion. I just ask that you respect mine and I can respect yours. That stuff pack was tragic. It should have never happened. Everything in that stuff pack should have been included in Cats and Dogs for free, point blank, no questions asked. I mentioned this in my last video, but a lot of the furniture assets that came with The Sims 4 My First Pet Stuff literally matched the furniture from The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs exactly. Like, it was literally the same style, the same pattern, everything. They basically just took stuff that they cut out of the pack and put it in another paid DLC. And I just think that that was just a horrible thing to do. I think all that content should have been free and should have came in Cats and Dogs. Let me know down in the comment section below if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, and why, of course. And I received comments a lot, surprisingly, from people that are like, oh my gosh, you're an EA game changer, you're sucking up to them. In every single video, I talk about things that I don't like with The Sims 4, so how is that sucking up? And even if I'm discussing current or future content in The Sims, and I don't have any negative opinions, and I'm fairly happy with a lot of the stuff that we're getting, which I actually am in the current moment, then I am a suck up or a kiss up? What? It's just my opinion. No one's paying me to say nice things. It's just me naturally saying nice things. And every now and then I do have a negative opinion, but of course when I do, nobody wants to pay attention to that. Now do they? But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know down in the comment section below what pack or games you felt like were not good enough when released. And if they could, how could they improve on that? In the future, definitely don't make a DLC of a DLC. If you have extra content in your expansion pack that you can't include because it's too much, don't make it a stuff pack. Just add it to the damn expansion pack. It's that easy. That's how I see it. Our next tweet comes from Jack at Jack the Simmer, tweeting Sim Guru Grant, we got more expansions than game packs / stuff packs in the last 12 months or so. Was this based on community feedback, or will years be different for types of packs? And Sim Guru Grant quoted the tweet responding, we are always re-evaluating how we make content and always will. And I really wanted to include this tweet because I wanted to discuss it. This is something that I noticed and did talk about a little bit in my last video, is how there was kind of like a certain schedule, like a set schedule that packs would be released. Every few months we would get a stuff pack, and of course every 6 months or so we'd get a game pack, and then we would get an expansion promptly every year around fourth quarter of each year, which is, right before Christmas, and that makes sense because it's the holiday season, people spend the most money, companies tend to make more money in that quarter, so that's to be expected. But I noticed things changed up a little bit when Seasons came out. Of course, Seasons came out in June, right? In June of 2018. And then shortly in November, we got Get Famous. Just a few months after, we got yet another expansion pack, yet still haven't gotten a stuff pack, yet still haven't even gotten a game pack. I've noticed that they've been focusing more on the expansions and have been slowing down on all of the other packs. And I noticed that throughout the years, since The Sims 4 was released, this release model is constantly changing, and that's what Grant is talking about. He says we are always reevaluating how we make content and always will. So don't ever expect anything to remain the same. The release schedule is probably always going to change, and it's probably EA's doing, and I don't blame them. They're constantly testing things out to see what's selling, what's not selling, and of course what the community likes and doesn't like. So it's kind of hard to pin exactly what's coming next, especially as far as future game packs, stuff pack, expansion packs, especially in 2019. I definitely see a new EP in 2019, and I'm hoping we get at least one game pack and one stuff pack. So one of each in 2019 would be great, but you never know because they change everything up so often. It's hard to predict. And if we do get an expansion pack in 2019, it better be University. We've been waiting for that the longest, and I think the Sims team knows that University is long overdue. So I'm hoping that this is the next expansion pack for the game. If you guys could choose what packs would come next and what they would be, what would they be? Let me know down in the comment section below. What expansion pack would you release? What game pack would you release? And of course, if there was a stuffed pack, what would you want that to be about? Our next tweet comes from Ariana at Ariana Knoll. They tweet at SimGuru Grant, do you guys think you'll add more interactive jobs in the future, such as interior design like in The Sims 3? Ooh, oh my god, that job was so awesome. And it wasn't even like a career, it was an actual profession, meaning that it was a job that you actually had to go to and actually do. SimGuru Grant responded to this tweet saying, careers are always very popular, intuitive, and fun to make. It's also one of the top script mods you guys craft, so I think it's good to assume we'll generally be looking to make careers in some way as we move forward. This is not really him confirming that this career specifically is coming, but more a way of him confirming that new careers are coming in the future, and I hope that this is one of them that's added. I also really hope that we get firefighters back so that you can actually be a firefighter, and I also hope that we get ghost hunting back, because that was another fun one that came with The Sims 3 Ambitions. Now to slap a percent chance on this, percent chance of new careers in The Sims 4, 99%. They're always creating new careers, and this is definitely something that I see in the future, but an actual interior design profession like we had in The Sims 3, I'm gonna put that at about a 50% chance. I don't know if that's something that they're going to add back, but it seems like people are requesting it, so it's possible. And is it something I would add to my wish list? 100% yes, along with all of the other awesome professions that came with The Sims 3 Ambitions. I would love to see all of them implemented some way or another in The Sims 4. Next up, we have a tweet from Daisy Simmer at DaisySimmer01, tweeting SimGuru Grant, what made you guys decide to put only 2 lots, one large and one small, in the cheap area of Del Sol instead of 3 lots by putting 2 in the space of the larger one? Wouldn't it make more sense to only afford a cheap small home instead of a large plot of land? And that's actually a really good question. I did not like how Mirage Park was implemented into Del Sol Valley. I thought that whole neighborhood just seemed really cheap. I thought it seemed rushed, and those lots should definitely be spread apart just a little bit more, especially because you have such a small lot next to such a big lot. You would think that in that neighborhood there would only really be small lots and then only bigger lots in the more expensive neighborhoods. SimGuru Grant quoted that tweet and responded, we approach every world as a unique thing. How to craft each neighborhood, how big it is, what objects it needs, how to support the design, how to make it unique and performant. I cannot answer this specifically, but I promise the answer arrived at thoughtfully. Basically, he's saying that the Sims team put a lot of thought into this, and it is what it is, you know? I'm okay with it, I'm not complaining about it, but I wanted to include this tweet because that was one thing that I wanted to talk about in this video, was I feel like our worlds are kind of lacking as far as recently. Was I happy with Willow Creek? Yes, I love Willow Creek, and I think it's still my favorite world. This always happens with the Sims franchise. The first world that they release with the game is always my favorite world. And now at The Sims 4, Willow Creek is my favorite world, and still so far remains my favorite world. I love how big Windenburg is, and I love what they did with that, and to to go from that to Brindleton Bay was just a tiny downgrade, and then to go from Brindleton Bay to Del Sol Valley was just a huge downgrade. It just feels like we almost got nothing in comparison to Windenburg. Like, there were so many lots, there were so many details, and they seriously just put so much effort into that world. And with Get Famous, as much as they put tons of effort into the gameplay, the world just lacked too much. And I thought that as soon as I played it at Sims Camp, I was like, we're missing something here. What's going on? Yes, the gameplay is awesome. I'm happy that they, put a lot of resources and time into that, but I feel like the world should be given just as much love as the gameplay, because sometimes I don't want to play with the gameplay features. I just want to use that world to have my Sims live in it. But it feels like there really isn't much to it, and that's why I never play in Del Sol Valley, if I'm being honest with you guys. Leave all of your thoughts and suggestions about this topic down below. Do you guys think that Del Sol Valley was kind of a letdown for you as well? Be completely honest, and it's okay if you do think that, and it's okay if you don't think that. We all have our own opinions, but only ask is that we be kind and respect one another in the comment section. Our next question comes from Blue Moon 2X. They tweet, I'm curious as to why the music aspect / gameplay, such as concerts, recording studio, etc. was left out of Get Famous. And this is a great question because I was upset about this too. When Get Famous was first teased on Twitter and we saw that first gif of a sim on a red carpet, the first thing I thought was, finally our Sims can become worldwide famous musicians. They could get record deals, they could release music, they could have concerts, sing on stage, all of that stuff, and it wasn't like that at all. They really tailored this pack towards acting, and I'm not complaining about that. I'm very happy for that, and I'm very grateful for what we have. I think that how they implemented that into the game was awesome, but I feel like we still need that concert recording studio type Get Famous pack in our game. We had it with The Sims 3 Showtime. You could literally perform at different venues, customize your stage, sing, sign albums, all that stuff. It was awesome, and I seriously hope that we get that side of being famous back. Of course, Sim Guru Grant quoted the tweet responding, every game revolves around pricking and prioritizing various things. And that's true, and I guess that with this expansion pack, they wanted to really focus in on the acting career, but if I had to ask you guys, what would you prefer, the singing and the concerts or the acting? I know that singing and concerts would win, and I think that EA knows that as well, so I'm just curious as to why they chose the acting instead when they could have had a more successful Get Famous expansion pack with the latter. I don't understand it, I never will, but you know what, I'm happy with what we have, and I'm very grateful, and I think that the way that they implemented it, like I said, was just great. Would you guys ever be for another game pack or expansion pack where we basically have the whole singing career aspect? Would you guys like that? Would you buy it? Let me know down in the comment section below. And before I move on from this tweet, I want to read Blue Moon 2X's reply just below this tweet. They tweet, well, if the team ever gets a chance, I would love to see maybe a game pack about the music aspect of the game. It would be cool to players to design their own concerts, have different instruments, create bands, including simmers, and be in a recording studio. Having all of those aspects alone basically makes it a whole expansion pack. Not just being a worldwide famous musician, having time in a recording studio to make albums and make singles, but also having bands and hiring different bandmates and having different instruments and other Sims to play those instruments. Like, this could seriously have been such a big thing, and I really hope that we get something like this in the future. Even if we don't end up getting this in The Sims 4, this type of thing better be in The Sims 5. CC Dot on Twitter tweeted, Sim Guru Grant is a dynamic world, a possibility in The Sims 4, like certain actions having an impact on the world, and Grant responded basically confirming that yes, this is possible. As far as dynamic worlds, I'm having trouble thinking of how they can even implement this in the game. Grant says it's possible, yes, but how so? And is it even worth adding to the game? The only thing that I can really think of is, if we time traveled, and there was a response to this tweet from Pat and the Intel Gamer. They said, oh, so maybe we could somehow travel in the past and it would affect things in the current time. That would be cool. That makes sense. It also affecting things in the future too. So maybe in a past Sims life, something that they've done or a way that they've interacted with Sims changes the world in the current time, and of course, if you're playing that said world in current time, some of the actions that you do could affect the future. So maybe they can implement like Sims politics in a way. Like in the Sims 3 University, you had the ability to protest. What if they added that sort of thing into the Sims 4? And if your Sims started protesting, they could change the future of that Sims world, and maybe in the future things ran differently. Wouldn't that be cool, honestly, if Sims had their own laws and such that you had to abide by, and if you didn't, you got arrested and such? That's something that really needs to be in The Sims 4. Worlds that change based off of how your Sims interact with each other. That would be awesome. Our next tweet comes from Hot Boy DZ tweeting SimGuru Grant, is there a date set for Get Famous on console? And Grant responded, please see my pinned tweet. His pinned tweet states that he cannot comment on any potential future content. But I really wanted to include this tweet and talk about it today because I feel like console's left out. I feel like console is constantly neglected. PC and Mac have been getting these awesome updates and patch fixes lately. We've been getting tons of new free content, and I feel like console's kind of been lacking in that aspect, and they really haven't gotten what we on PC have gotten recently. Do you guys feel the same? Especially if you're watching this video right now and are a console player, have a PlayStation 4, have an Xbox One. Do you feel that way too? I don't even own a console, and I'm like, wow, console has been neglected greatly lately, but if I'm being honest, I could honestly bet you that they're working on porting Get Famous for consoles right now, so I definitely see it coming in the future, but of course it will be coming late. And I wanted to talk about this tweet because I've noticed how console just hasn't really been getting that fair treatment like PC and Mac has been lately. Last but definitely not least, our final tweet comes from Jordan. Will there be an Elders pack soon, or something that will make Elders have more things to do? I've talked about this recently, but now we have some new tweets on the fact. Grant responded, Elders are something we know you guys want more for, but they have to be prioritized against teens, babies, and other things. So I don't know. He's basically saying that he doesn't know if they're going to be, creating an elder pack or adding more info for elders, but he's also acknowledging the fact that he knows that we want teens, updated babies, and some other important things. So this is working, guys. Making these videos, getting you guys to tweet the gurus is actually working. The gurus are well aware of our requests, and that makes these features possible. We definitely need more interactions and objects and stuff for our teenagers, children, and toddlers. We need an updated baby system. We need university, and I feel like the elder stage is quite neglected as well. Elders need more stuff to do. It's the final life stage of your life, and I feel like they could really make a whole pack just about adoring your elders. I would seriously just love that. Let me know down in the comment section below, what age group do you think needs the most work? And I already know what you guys are gonna say. It's gonna be babies, and I definitely agree with that. But elders comes in at a close second place. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Please leave all of your comments and thoughts down in the comment section below based on the topics discussed in today's speculation/wishlist video. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you found this video entertaining and informative, please give it a huge thumbs up and add it to your favorites. Subscribe to become a Pixelator today, and ding the little bell next to the subscribe button to receive notifications for any type of upload right here on my channel. Don't forget, you can click the join button next to the subscribe button or the link down in the description box below to become a premium Pixelator, receiving exclusive benefits. Those include but are not limited to custom lemon emojis, a premium lemon badge, daily shoutouts, merch discounts, and much more. Follow me on social media that includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Google+, Twitch, and much more, and I will see all of you in my next video. I love you all to the moon and back. Bye, guys.